Hello, I'm Alina Rain. I'm an intuitive healer, a Reiki master teacher for over 13 years. I have been doing tarot readings for the past 5 years more seriously, and I also am a trauma conscious intuitive healer. I have training in various trauma conscious modalities, and I work with people through somatic healing and other modalities to help them explore what's stuck in their body and release them. So I prepared today a little bit of collective reading for the next portal that's coming in. It's also supposed to be more of a timeless reading, so whenever this finds you, it will be something that fits you. You will have something that resonates with you. So let's start. Let's start with what your current energy is. So I have channeled some reading through writing because that is my best way of channeling, and I will go through it. So the first cards are Page of Cups, and the archetype is the mentor. So what does this mean? This means you are in a cycle of emotional reorientation. Something in you has softened, but not in the old way, not in the way of collapse or overexposure. This softness has structure now. It's the kind that comes from knowing your limits, from learning what presence actually costs. The Page of Cups marks the stage where your sensitivity starts to mature. Not by shutting down, but by learning how to stay available without self-abandonment. You're beginning to trust what your body feels again, not the story about it, but actual sensation. The tug in your gut, the expansion in your chest, the small tremor before the truth. And this is how your intuition speaks when you let it bypass the mental noise that you have. You don't need to chase big mystical downloads right now. The guidance is already moving through texture, through tone, through timing. Your system is recalibrating to notice the difference between reaction and response. That's the quiet genius of this moment. The mentor arrives as a mirror, a reminder that wisdom doesn't come from collecting more information. It comes from digestion, from metabolizing what you've lived. You've gone through enough cycles of collapse and rebuilding to know that real authority isn't about knowing more, it's about staying human while you know it. You're learning how to build emotional depth without turning it into performance. You're teaching yourself how to be with others without rescuing them, how to be supportive without overextending, how to stay open without leaking energy everywhere. So this alignment sits in the body like a slow hum. You're not meant to rush this. The Page of Cups works in water time. It ripples, it takes shapes through feeling, through reflection. Your current frequency is about integration. You're learning to let your sensitivity serve you instead of sabotaging you. And the mentor archetypes deepens this frequency by inviting you into reciprocity. You don't have to prove your worth by giving everything away. The way you hold your boundaries teaches you more than your words ever could. The way you tend to your own emotions teaches safety. The way you allow imperfection teaches permission. This is the kind of guidance the world actually needs. Embodied, steady, real. Right now, your energy is anchored in emotional maturity, not the polished kind that hides the mess, but the grounded kind that holds the contradiction. You can be open and discerning, soft and strong, curious and boundaried. You're allowed to be all of it at once. And the work here is simple, though it is not easy. Keep coming back to what is true in your body. Let that be your compass. Every time you trust that inner signal, every time you move from response instead of reaction, you shift your frequency toward coherence. That's what alignment looks like now. Not perfection, not transcendence, just truth that lives in the body and moves through your life cleanly. Okay, so let's just sit with the information from the first part. Let your body relax in this information. If there's maybe some tension in you, some resistance to the words that are flowing through, Give them your awareness now. Give them your breath. Just 1 or 2 breaths for now. Because this reading is also an energetic transmission, we're going to let things flow a little bit. The collective energies right now, especially if you're a sensitive person, are really powerful, really potent. They really, really ask you. They really ask a lot of you. And they ask you to be centered in your worth, in your gifts, groundedness, centeredness, and moving through them. A lot of lessons around relationships are coming to the surface right now. Okay, so let's dive deeper a little bit for the next card. So this is not such an interactive live. If you come in different days, my lives are a bit more interactive. But for today, I'm just going to have a collective reading, and then I will upload this to YouTube. So the next message, what does this portal 1212, but also this is a timeless reading, what does this portal, what does this encapsulation of this energetic container through which we are passing through right now holds for you? And we have the Knight of Pentacles and the archetype of the animal. So this portal is not a door that opens upward. It opens down. It opens into the ground, into your bones, into the places where your spirits meet the slow rhythm of physical world. The Knight of Pentacles moves like a breath after a long sprint. Deliberate, consistent, loyal to the work that actually matters. You're being called to the sacred pace of embodiment. The one that refuses urgency, the one that measures growth in grounded presence, not in visible results. The Knight carries an energy that is unglamorous, but unstoppable. It's the kind of devotion that doesn't need to prove itself anymore. You've burned through enough false starts, enough performative rituals, enough cycles of intensity followed by collapse. The portal's message is simple, but not easy. The next evolution of your path will happen through stability, through honoring the systems that keep you resourced and human, through remembering that consistency is its own form of magic. And then there's the animal. There's the part of you that knows how to live without explanation, the body that remembers before the mind does, the instinct that knows which way to turn before logic catches up. The animal is the one who reminds you all that true devotion begins in the flesh. You don't connect to spirit by leaving the body. You connect by inhabiting it fully. By breathing into your hunger, by tending to your fatigue, by listening to what your system says instead of overriding it with ideas about who you should be. The portal is rewilding you from the inside out. It's stripping away the spiritual conditioning that told you that growth must always be transcendental, fast, or extraordinary. The activation here is slow magic. The alchemy that happens when you stay in presence, right here, right now. When you repeat what works, when you trust rhythm over novelty. The Knight teaches that mastery is born from repetition that never becomes robotic because the heart stays involved. The animal shows that staying close to instinct keeps the work alive. You're being retrained in the language of sustainable creation. That means respecting your body's timing even when your ego wants more results right now. It means letting the creative process move through the nervous system like seasons, germination, growth, harvest, and then rest, without forcing perpetual summer. The portal's energy is asking you to locate your power in pace. not in productivity, but in presence that doesn't flinch. If you've been running on spiritual adrenaline, this portal will expose every leak in your system, not to shame you, but to teach you how energy really works. You can't magnetize what your body can't hold. You can't manifest from depletion. The night and the animal work together to rebuild your energetic foundation, one grounded act at a time. Eating when you're hungry, stopping when you're full, saying no when your body contracts. This is not just self-care, this is energetic architecture. Through this portal, your devotion becomes feral again, not polite, not performative, but alive. You'll start to feel what true integrity tastes like. When your actions match your value, when your effort honor your limits, when your embodiment becomes prayer. That's when life starts responding differently. Not because you finally found the right ritual, because you became the kind of vessel that can hold what you've been asking for. The portal invites you to root in your light in your flesh, to honor the animal as divine, to let slow devotion replace spiritual urgency. You're the altar now, built of breath, bone, and repetition. Every grounded act, every steady choice, every moment you stay loyal to what's real, that's the activation. That's the ascension disguised as earth. Again, just going to take a few breaths here with the energy and the messages and the information and everything that's flowing through. There's a lot of energy moving through right now. Stay open to it, stay open to the transformation it requires of you. And let yourself go deep in whatever your body is asking of you right now. Maybe there's sensations that require your attention now. Give them your awareness. It's not necessarily about trying to fix anything right now. It's more about getting more comfortable in being in your own body, embodied in the flesh, with the instincts that are there, with the knowledge that is there. And then we move to the third part of the reading. What is ready in you to rise and transform? So we have the Page of Swords in reverse and the cave as the archetype. You are in the quiet part of transformation, the kind most people skip because it doesn't look impressive from the outside. Sorry, the card was the Five of Swords, not the Page of Swords. So the Five of Swords reverse signals that the end of a mental war you've been fighting for far too long. The arguments are replaying in your head, the loops of self-doubt, the invisible debates you've been having with people who will never understand. All of that noise is you losing your power. You're no longer getting high off resistance. You're tired in a deeper way. The kind of tired that comes when you finally see how much energy you've spent proving what never needed proof. The cave calls you inwards. It's not exile, it's sanctuary. It's the space where light can't perform, so only truth remains. The cave is the place where your ego's armor starts to slide off, one heavy piece at a time. You begin to notice the rawness underneath, the part of you that doesn't need to be right, just needs to be free. This is a sacred withdrawal, a necessary descent into silence so your energy can reorganize around what's real. Your soul alignment right now is reclamation through stillness. When the Five of Swords reverses, the mind surrenders its obsession to control. It starts learning a new language, the one spoken through body signals, intuitions, and instinct instead of analysis. You are entering that language. You're shifting from survival intelligence to integration intelligence. That means no longer defending against what's already over, no longer narrating your life through conflict. Inside this cave, there's also grief. The kind that comes when you realize you no longer want to fight, even for your old identity. There's also relief available to you, a loosening in the chest, a new spaciousness in the breath. You begin to sense that your clarity doesn't come from understanding everything. It comes from being willing to not run from the dark. You can finally meet your own shadow without needing to fix it, justify it, or make it pretty. The cave teaches stillness. That's not avoidance, but digestion. It's the incubation phase between endings and beginnings, the alchemy that happens when nothing is asked of you except honesty. You don't need to extract meaning yet. Just stay long enough for your nervous system to catch up with your soul. This is where your old armor dissolves and new boundaries are born. If you listen closely, you'll hear something beneath that silence. A hum that is faint but constant. That's your real power returning. It's quieter than you remember. It doesn't need to dominate to be felt. This is the energy of right relationship with your mind, not silencing it, but letting it rest after years of hypervigilance. Your soul is aligning with the discipline of peace. That means choosing calm even when chaos seduces you, choosing response over reaction, choosing depth over defense. You're not losing your edge, you're refining it into discernment. The next version of you won't fight to be heard. They'll move through such grounded clarity that everything around them reorganizes in response. And the cave is your crucible. Stay there until the noise dissolves into signal. Stay until your silence feels like strength. Stay until you no longer mistake reaction for aliveness. This is the portal for reclamation, the moment where your peace stops being an ideal and becomes your native state. So let's take a deeper breath here. Staying with the energy of what is transmitted here. And the various reaction your body has. Before we move to the next part of the reading, we're doing collective readings today. This is not such an interactive live. Other days, my lives are more interactive and community oriented. This is more transmission. Listen. Check in. So let's see what energy is available to you right now that can help you manifest whatever your heart's desires, your true desires are, faster. So we have the Queen of Cups in reverse, and then as the archetype we have the heart. You manifest through feeling. You have always have. And lately your emotional current has been running through static. So the Queen of Cups in reverse shows where empathy turned into exhaustion and where deep care became overextension. You've been pouring energy outward faster than you can replenish it. This reversal isn't punishment, it's feedback. The body is saying you cannot magnetize from depletion. You can't call in abundance from a field that is leaking energy. And the heart steps forward to restore coherence. It's the reminder that manifestation isn't about wanting more, it's about being able to hold what comes. The heart is a stabilizer, a regulator, a gatekeeper for creation. It magnetizes by resonance, by how truthfully you can inhabit what you desire, not by how loudly you ask for it. When your heart field is fragmented by resentment, by guilt, by emotional fatigue, your energy gets noisy and the signal weakens. The universe can't hear what you actually mean. And this portal we're moving through right now is asking you to clean the frequency, to come home to your own center before trying to attract anything external. The Queen reversed invites emotional recalibration, not to harden, but to filter, to know the difference between compassion and codependence, between intuition and projection, care and control. When you re-establish that boundary, your heart stops bleeding energy and starts generating it again. You amplify your magnetism by remembering that emotion is sacred electricity. It's not something to manage, it's something to steward. The heart is the conductor. It turns vulnerability into voltage, but only when you let it beat in its own natural rhythm. If you've been suppressing or spiritualizing your feelings, the current gets blocked. If you've been drowning in them, also it short circuits. The sweet spot, the magnetic field, happens when you let your emotions move through without getting stuck in the story. This is the deeper work of the Queen reversed, learning to feel cleanly, to let grief move without labeling it as failure, to let anger clarify your boundaries instead of consuming your focus, to let joy exist without fearing it will disappear. This emotional hygiene is what amplifies your manifestation field. You cannot embody abundance if you keep confusing intensity with aliveness. The heart teaches that receptivity isn't passive, it's precision. It requires you to become congruent, your words, your energy, desires, all pointing in the same direction. Manifestation happens when your heart stops contradicting your mouth, when your body believes what you say you want, when your care for others includes yourself as part of that circle. So before you call anything in, check your capacity to receive it. Can your system hold joy without shrinking? Can you allow ease without guilt? Can you let love come towards you without immediately feeling the need that you have to earn it? This portal offers a chance to rebuild your magnetism from the inside out, not by chasing outcomes, but by returning to emotional equilibrium. You are the signal. The more you clear the noise, the more the world responds. The Queen of Cups reverse doesn't mean your power is gone. It means it's coming home. And the heart is recalibrating your field for truth, coherence, and reciprocity. When you love from overflow instead of obligation, manifestation stops being work, it becomes gravity, and it pulls the things you want towards you. Okay, so a lot has moved. Staying here again with the breath. As much as you possibly can, bring your awareness to your body. Check if there's maybe some emotional waves that need some tending to, need some tenderness. Maybe some aspects of your body that need some tenderness. Thank you, Lucas. So this live is not just so interactive. It's more of a transmission. That's not what I meant, but you're responsible for your choices. Okay, So let's see what might be holding you back right now. So we have the Eight of Swords, but it came as a choice point. It's not upwards, it's not reverse. This is fully your choice here. And the archetype is the bridge. What does this mean? It means you're standing in the liminal. Your eyes are open, your mind is aware, but your body is hesitant. The Eight of Swords here is not punishment, it's the mirror of a threshold. You've outgrown the old stories, but part of you still lives inside their architecture. You can see the door unlocked, but your hands waver, hover, waiting for something. Permission, certainty, a sign that you won't fall apart if you walk through. The truth here is there is no sign coming. There is only the choice to trust yourself enough to move while you are still afraid. The bridge appears as the structure that builds itself beneath your feet. It doesn't exist before the first step. It reveals itself through motion. This is the nature of real transformation. It demands participation. The mind wants guarantees, the body wants proof, the soul says, walk anyway. Every time you act from your truth instead of your fear, the next plank appears. The bridge doesn't take you away from yourself, it carries you deeper into alignment, across the gap between understanding and embodiment. And the block is subtle, it's not ignorance, it's overthinking disguised as safety. You've dissected your patterns, you have named them, you have healed them, and yet, when life offers you a new opening, the reflex to freeze still kicks in. The Eight of Swords is that loop of caution, the protective layer that believes freedom might be too much too soon. The nervous system remembers what it cost to trust before, so it hesitates. This is not resistance to growth, this is the body asking for a slower bridge, one that honors its pace. But the longer you stay analyzing the terrain, the heavier the air becomes. The cage is built from repetition of waiting. Every unchosen moment reinforces the bars. The portal energy now asks for embodied courage, not reckless steps, but conscious, incremental movement. Freedom isn't waiting at the end of the bridge, it's felt in the moment you start crossing. You're being invited to notice how much energy goes into maintaining the illusion of safety. The vigilance, the contingency plans, the rehearsed outcomes, they keep you occupied, but not alive. The bridge teaches that stability isn't found through control, it's found through trust earned in real time. When you move, you give your body new evidence. I can survive freedom, I can hold change. That's how the nervous system rewires, not through thinking about it, but through lived experience. And the Eight of Swords at this choice point is a test of embodiment. You already know what to do. The work is to let your body do it. There's no other gatekeeper. The way opens when you decide it does. This is the moment you stop orbiting your own potential and step into it. And the bridge doesn't promise comfort either, but it offers something better: movement, air, perspective, the chance to see that the cage was never locked, only familiar. The only way across is through one breath, one truth, one step at a time. So again, we're going to take a breath. We're going to explore what got activated within the body with our awareness, with our breath. A lot is moving through. More of that tenderness, more of that nurturing, staying with what is, not running away from it, not avoiding it, not bracing ourselves for impact, just slowly unfolding into whatever patterns, sensations is there in your nervous system, in your body, in your flesh, in your cells. And you will notice that when that tension slowly fades away, slowly dissipates, there is suddenly this sense of expansion, and a lot more energy unlocks for you to use it. You just need to take that first step, and then the next, and you decide the pace. Okay, let's see. Then, what action should I take for the next 10 days? 11, 12. Yeah, we'll discuss that at the end. We'll have some time for discussion. Let's go into what inspired action should we take. So we have the Eight of Pentacles, but also in the choice point. Not upright, not reversed, a choice point for you. And the stone as the archetype. So this is the turning point where intention becomes embodiment. The Eight of Pentacles is the archetype of grounded devotion, the slow art of doing real work when nobody is watching. It carries the quiet hum of someone who has stopped chasing novelty and started refining what already works. At this choice point, you are being asked to trade performance for precision. The invitation is not to do more, but to do what you do well. Okay? To bring care, integrity, and presence back into the smallest actions of your day. The stone anchors this lesson with its ancient steadiness. It doesn't move quickly, but it moves truthfully. It's the symbol of everything that endures because it's built correctly from the inside out. The stone teaches that sustainability is not glamorous, but it is sacred. It's the invisible scaffolding that allows expansion to hold its own weight. You've been in a cycle of learning through intensity, but the energy of this portal wants to teach you through rhythm, through repetition that refines rather than drains. And the Eight of Pentacles asks you to look closely at your relationship with mastery. Have you confused evolution with escalation? Have you mistaken effort for value? You don't need to reinvent yourself again. You need to deepen into what's already alive. True mastery isn't about perfection. It's about intimacy with your own process. It's about knowing the texture of your craft, your calling, your energy so intimately that you can feel if it's in tune or off key. And this kind of devotion can't be rushed. It asks for presence over outcome, for substance over speed. And the stone reminds you that nothing meant to last can be built in a state of tension. If you want to stabilize your next level, you have to let your nervous system become your foundation. That means slower mornings, cleaner boundaries, honest self-assessment. No more scattering your focus across too many directions trying to cover every possibility. The divine action here is simplification. Returning to what matters most, the thing you can stand behind when everything else shifts. You are being invited into apprenticeship again, not because you are unskilled, but because mastery is cyclical. Every new phase of purpose begins with the humility to refine. The ego resists this, wanting novelty or external confirmation, but the soul knows the real progress happens in repetition. Every time you stay present with your craft, every time you honor your word, every time you show up when it would be easier to distract yourself, the field of reality reconfigures around your consistency. The world starts to trust you because you trust you. And the stone hums this truth. Endurance is a frequency. When you hold steady, life organizes around that steadiness. You become the structure that spirit can move through. You stop chasing alignment and start becoming it. This is what divine action looks like now. The sacred grind that isn't grind at all, but prayer through motion. So stay close to your work. Tend to it like a living thing. Let your skill, your practice, your rituals, your relationships mature through care instead of urgency. This is the season of grounded expansion, of refining the channel so the current can move cleanly through. Every act of consistency is a spell. Every quiet repetition lays another stone on the path to your highest timeline. Let's take a deep breath again. And let your senses guide you in this exploration of your inner world. Tend to whatever appears. You can pause the video if you need to. You can take that sacred pause. Come back to your center. And let these teachings today really ground deeply, viscerally in your body. This is the work of embodiment. This is not just insight you understand at the level of the mind, but you allow yourself to explore whatever resistance is in you somatically, so that you, once and for all, understand it in the body and move from that. An undeniable center within yourself, an unbreakable force, no matter what happens, no matter the chaos around you. You are here and you have power. So let's see what shifts will happen by the next portal, which will be next year. So you have the Hierophant, but as a choice point, not reversed, not upright. And the archetype is the Temple. You're moving in a season where truth settles in the body. The Hierophant here is not about external authority. It's about becoming your own reference point. The endless seeking quiets because you were searching for what has already taken roots inside of you. You no longer need to gather more teachings or decode more signs. You've learned a different kind of knowing, the one that comes from walking your talk long enough that it starts to reshape your very bones. The Hierophant at Crossroads asks you to redefine what wisdom looks like. You've already dismantled the old hierarchies, the teachers you put on the pedestals, the systems that made you doubt your own access to the sacred. What's rising now is integrity. You become the bridge between spirit and practice, meaning and embodiment. The teaching isn't in what you say, it's in how you live, how you listen, how you stay. The temple is the structure that's been forming beneath all of this work, not a place but a way of being. It's the rhythm of your devotion, the habits that keep you human, the alignment that holds you steady when everything else shifts. The temple is built from your follow-through, your discernment, your choice to keep showing up for what's real. And it stands wherever you decide to honor your truth instead of outsourcing it. This energy brings maturity, not the kind that dulls the edge, but the kind that sharpens your focus. You start teaching without meaning to. The way you hold your boundaries teaches. The way you repair after rupture teaches. The way you choose patience over performance teaches. So it's not about perfection, it's about coherence. You're becoming a living demonstration of what integration looks like. The Hierophant and the temple together mark the point where purpose stops being an idea and becomes a pulse. You'll feel it in how people respond to your steadiness, in how your own body relaxes around your truth. The noise fades because you've stopped negotiating with it. You've made peace with the responsibility that comes with clarity, and instead of shrinking from it, you inhabit it fully. This is what alignment looks like now. Not chasing meaning, but embodying it. Not collecting wisdom, but transmitting it through presence. You are the temple, you are teaching, and your life, grounded, honest, devoted, is the sermon that doesn't need words. Okay, people. So that was my transmission. I will upload this to YouTube. That's why I couldn't interact as much. But I'm opening the chat now for discussion, whatever emerged. Whoever is here, whatever needs discussed. And if there isn't any, if you just need to sit, yeah. Thank you for being here until the end. Do you have any questions? You had some questions. So what moves within you? Let's start from the body. You mentioned there was some tension there. Hello, Chronofield. This is one of those days where noise is not really all welcomed. Just making you aware. So, his greed sickens me. What happened? You're getting filtered, Chronofield, by the way. And I don't have to move a muscle. Okay, so if there isn't any discussion about the collective reading I just had, I think this is a good moment to land the boat. It's not quite... So Wednesdays, I think... I think there will be some type of teachings every Wednesday. The other days might be more about chit chat and having fun. So Wednesdays are more serious days, Chronofield. We need to have some of that, the structure, you know. Chaos is fine, randomness is fine, but we also need to have the structure. So you're muted, Chronofield. You can stay, you can listen. I won't block you. But you are muted. Just not that day for this type of energy. Okay, people, if no one has questions, if nobody wants to explore whatever comes up for them in the body, in their mind, patterns, it's just a weird energy, yeah. Why is it weird? For me, it's good energy. But like the energy has been weird lately. It's not as weird, but intense. For the sensitive people, we are truly walking on edge here. We're being asked to stay in our integrity a lot. A lot of relationship stuff is coming up. We're being initiated more and more into our purpose. So next year is the fire horse year. It's when the sensitive people move. Hey, Miri, you just came to the chit chat part. I'm not able to stay as long today because I have to start earlier work, half an hour earlier. But I do have 10 more minutes or so. Hello, Angela. So this is an English-speaking live because there are. What do you mean, sensitive people? They move more into their purpose, whatever that is, because we each come with a purpose. We're being activated. It will be so. This year prepared us for the work that needs to happen next year, and it will be fast movement. So maybe if you tried to move in certain direction this year, it wasn't really the time for it because you were asked to really look at wherever you had resistance around your purpose. A lot of things came up for healing. You were like shedding an old life, and the next life it's going to be more about action, moving with your purpose. A lot of changes in your life, fast changes. So we needed to be prepared this year for what happens next year, because things will keep coming at you, and you need to be in the centeredness to properly navigate them. If you did the work properly this year, no, he's just like a teenager. Angela, Karmafield is just a teenager. Yeah, and whenever he gets too noisy, I will mute him. But he will learn from this space. Today I had to mute him. Other days I'm more patient with him because it's more of a chit-chat energy, you know. But today is transmission time, so I need to protect my space from noise. You feel like a lot is coming, and I feel very tired and kind of unprepared. Yeah, no matter how much preparation you're having, you're still going to feel unprepared. I still feel unprepared, and I did a lot of work, healing work, a lot of shadow work this year. You're still going to feel unprepared, but you are ready. You are ready, you already learned through your experience so far, and particularly this year, where you need to, what you need to embody. Where is your center? You have been shown a lot of challenging situations this year that were just about that, to teach you where your truth is, to teach you where your center is and how to move through it and how to hold your boundaries. And a lot of things like that. And I'm here, I will be here. If you need extra help, extra support, I will be here first through this lives I'm doing. I also have free community on Discord. I invite you to join. I will offer support to people there. And also through my services. If you need deeper healing, I can help with that. One-on-ones, or maybe you need clarity through readings. That is the paid work. but I will be here around this time. You will annoy Amen. Are you chronophiled, Angela? Why? Like, because he said the same thing. He said the same thing. He will annoy the MLMist. So I don't know. I will follow you. Okay. So yeah, interesting dynamic you have with him. I will sign off now to keep the editing work shorter, but I also feel like the work I needed to do today in this space is kind of completed. Get in touch with me, join my community on Discord, join my lives. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, bye. Have a nice day. The boat has landed, yes. You're very welcome.